Good morning, LF students. My topic is all about coping with hazard within your community. The title of my speech is There's a Choice We're Making. Ladies and gentlemen, teachers, friends, colleagues, and guests, Super Typhoon Egay, which hit us recently, was a devastating storm. We observed how the Cagayan Valley, Bicol, and Eastern Visayas were all severely affected. Government statistic shows that Typhoon Egay destruction resulted in 14 casualties, 13 injuries, and 20 unaccounted for cases. Over 41,591 homes have suffered damage, families were split up, homes were ruined, and animals were impacted. In these tough times, when we are raised brought on by catastrophes, we see how people come together to work, love, patriotism, unity, and caring for one another. In what is known as the Bayanihan culture, the characteristic that the Filipino has, regardless of whether you know them or not, they are neither a friend nor an acquaintance. We have the energy and the heart to support one another. And as long as you're a Filipino, we have this Bayanihan culture. I am Ranel Reyes, and I'm honored here today to introduce myself to all of you. Let me introduce myself and explain why I have the ability to impart knowledge. As a student, I have the ability to research and conduct in-depth research, in addition to looking for information in online. I also ask people who are professional, like our LFs, and have the information about my chosen topic. The geographic position of the Philippines affects our condition, not just on a weekly, monthly, or annual basis. Its earthquake activity is normal given that it is situated in the Pacific Ring of Fire among other Pacific adjacent nations that are likewise vulnerable to volcanic eruptions and earthquakes. Processes are not root of danger as citizens. It is our responsibility to know how to deal with any threats and adapt. Hazard is a term that by definition denotes a risk or potential threat. We must always keep in mind to be cautious and prepared for any hazard or threats that we may face. Geological dangers are brought on by natural occurrences, including earthquakes, landslides, and volcanic eruptions. They often occur when geological processes hurt or injure people. One includes landslide, tsunamis, earthquake, and lahar flows. Geological processes are too accountable for the numerous property damage and mortality that these risks inflict. More than 1 million people have died globally due to earthquakes in the 20th century. It must be terrifying to consider how these natural disasters may affect and harm human livelihood on our planet. The Philippines is a particular vulnerable meteorological risk, which includes phenomena like tropical cyclones, monsoons, and tornadoes. This is especially true during the La Nina season, when the nation sees above average rainfall. Flooding, drought, and strong winds are risks brought by this previous phenomenon. As I said before, we just witnessed the Typhoon Egay. The Sierra Madre mountain range has been referred to as the backbone of Luzon because it acts like a natural barrier against super typhoon and storm surge. Human activity has always been the biggest threat to this planet. And the Sierra Madre is no different. Through mining, deforestation, and construction, its territory both legitimate and illegally, the largest natural barrier in Luzon is steadily eroding. And we must do everything in our power to conserve it. The Philippine archipelagic piece of land is encircled by several bodies of water. It is hence vulnerable to increased tides, current, and sea level fluctuation. Even now, these processes pose risk to economic activity since the nation depends on the maritime industries from other forms of support. Hazards brought on by those processes include coastal erosion, saltwater intrusion, and sea level rise as a result of hydrometeorological occurrences. We have been attempting to deal with these issues for who knows how long, and we have decided to call them a natural component of our ability to be a disaster resilient. Being resilient is not an issue, but we deceive it to the point that we fail to hold those responsible for these risk catastrophes accountable. It is crucial that we understand how to adapt, reduce, and deal with these threats. Urban planning and sustainable development are important to officials in order to guarantee our homes, offices, and other structures are secure. A network of escape routes and safe sites, appropriate construction practices, early warning system, and identification of potential disaster triggering events, community preparedness, and raising awareness are all important. Geological dangers such as earthquake, landslide, volcanic eruption cause significant property damage and mortality. Over a million people have died due to earthquake in the 20th century. The Philippines is vulnerable to hydrometeorological risks such as tropical cyclone, monsoon, and tornadoes, especially during La Nina season. The Sierra Madre mountain range, the backbone of Luzon, is eroding due to mining, deforestation, and construction. The archipelagic Philippines is surrounded by water bodies, making it vulnerable to increase in tides, currents, and sea level fluctuations, which pose risk to economic activity and coastal erosion. We should be aware and educated that these occurrences are driven by climate change, since we cannot predict when or where another calamity will occur. Who will take action if we don't know? Who will take action if we don't now? Remember that there will be more generation after us. They will ask us a question that will stick with us in the near future. Why didn't we act when it was time? Why didn't we use the chance to make a difference while there was still time? The next generation would bear the price instead of us. And they would look back at us and wonder why. So let's work together to think about the future, which must be brighter than the present. Let's defend the place we were. Since we caused its devastation, we need to contribute to its rehabilitation. As said in the song "We Are the World" by USA Africa, there's a choice we're making. We're saving our own life. Well, it's true. We'll make a better days, just you and me. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, and God bless us all.